Welcome back to Rich Minded, where real people face real money problems and find their way through. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get into today's story. Quick question before we start. Have you ever reached the end of the month, checked your bank account, and genuinely had no idea where your money went? You worked, you showed up, you paid your bills, and somehow, nothing left. That was Bella, every single month. But here's what makes her story different. She didn't get a raise, didn't take a second job, found one habit that freed up $400 a month without giving up a single thing she actually loved. This is episode 3. Let's go. Bella was 32, single mom of 2, Maya, 7, full of chaos energy, and Jaden, 5, the one who asked too many questions at bedtime. She worked full-time as an administrative assistant, good at her job, reliable, the person the office called when something needed fixing. But here's what nobody at the office knew. After rent, childcare, groceries, utilities, and transport, Bella had about $100 left each month. Sometimes less. One unexpected expense, school trip, car repair, dentist, and she was borrowing from next month, which meant next month started already behind. The worst part wasn't even the money. It was the feeling. That low hum of financial anxiety following her everywhere. At work, at school pickup, at 2 a.m., kids asleep, running numbers in her head that never quite added up. She wasn't reckless. She wasn't careless. She was just stuck. Here's something important. Bella wasn't bad with money. She was uninformed about money. Those are completely different things. Bad with money means you know what to do and choose not to. Uninformed means nobody ever handed you the map. Nobody sat Bella down and explained how any of this worked. Not at school, not at home. Money growing up was something that caused stress, not something that got planned, discussed, managed. So she carried that into adult life. Not because she was lazy, because the tools were never given to her. That was about to change. And it started on a completely ordinary Tuesday. Bella was eating lunch at her desk. Leftover pasta, cheaper than buying out. Her colleague Sandra walked over. Sandra was one of those people who always seemed to have things quietly together. Not flashy about it, just calm. Like she'd figured something out most people hadn't. They got talking about the cost of everything going up, the conversation everyone is having right now. Then Sandra said something that stopped Bella mid-fork. Do you actually know where your money goes? Not roughly. Specifically, where does every single dollar go? Bella thought about it, and honestly, no. She knew the big things, rent, childcare, but the rest just disappeared, into a fog she'd never looked at. Sandra smiled. Been exactly there. She said, try this. Track every single thing you spend for 30 days. Don't change anything. Don't judge yourself, just watch where it goes. That was it. Track it. 30 days. Just watch. Bella went back to her pasta thinking, that's too simple. That can't do anything. She was wrong. That evening, kids in bed, Bella opened the Notes app on her phone. Not a fancy budgeting app, the plain Notes app already there. Every time she spent money on anything, she added it to the list. Coffee, grabbed lunch, kids' snack, everything. Week 1 felt weird, like turning the lights on in a room she'd always kept dark. By week 2, patterns started appearing. By week 4, she sat down on a Sunday night and went through all 30 days. What she found genuinely shocked her. Not because she'd been reckless, because she'd been completely unconscious. Here's what Bella discovered, and I guarantee at least one of these is happening to you right now. Discovery 1. Subscriptions. She counted 7. 7 different services quietly billing her every month. A streaming service from a free trial, 2 years ago, completely forgotten. A meditation app used twice. A meal kit service paused but never canceled. 2 apps she had zero memory of. Total? $176 a month. Every month, leaving her account while she slept. Discovery 2. Food waste. She bought fresh groceries every week with good intentions. Then Wednesday happened. She was exhausted. Ordered takeaway. The fresh food went bad. She was paying twice for her meals every week. Monthly cost of that pattern? $90. Discovery 3. Invisible spending. Every purchase under $5. The autopilot coffee. The checkout snack she didn't even want. Tiny individually. Together across 30 days, $130. Bella added it all up. $176, plus $90, plus $130. $396. Every month. Gone to things she'd never consciously decided to spend on. She stared at that number for a long time. Now here's where Bella did something different from most people. Most people discover a problem like this and panic. They try cutting everything at once, make a brutal budget, white-knuckle it for 2 weeks. Then life happens and the whole thing collapses, and they feel worse than when they started. Bella made 3 small targeted changes, one for each thing she found, in order of ease. Change 1. Subscriptions. One Sunday afternoon, 45 minutes, she went through every recurring charge and asked, "Do I actually use this?" The ones she did, kept. No guilt. The ones she didn't, canceled immediately. $158 freed. In 45 minutes. Change 2. Meal planning. 1 hour every Sunday morning. 5 dinners planned. Shopping list made. Only what was on the list purchased. No more good intentions meeting exhausted Wednesday evenings. Now she had a plan. Takeaway gone. Food waste gone. $80 freed. Change 3. The pause rule. For any non-essential purchase under $10, 10-second pause. One question. Do I actually want this or am I just on autopilot? Not a ban, just a moment of consciousness between the impulse and the action. She was surprised how often the answer was autopilot. The coffee she grabbed not because she wanted coffee, but because she always grabbed coffee. The checkout snack not because she was hungry, because it was there. $90 freed. From a 10-second pause. Total across 3 changes, $328 a month. Now the part most people miss. Freed money without a plan disappears again. The day Bella got paid, before spending a single dollar on anything, she transferred $300 into a completely separate account. Named it Future Fund. Money with a name and a purpose is money that stays. By month 3, she was freeing close to $400 consistently. By month 6, Future Fund had $1,800 in it. For the first time in years, a buffer. Something between her family and a crisis. And the anxiety got quieter. Not gone, but quieter. That low hum that followed her everywhere, softer now. Because she had information, visibility. She was making conscious choices instead of wondering where everything went. Same income, same job, same life, but the financial fog had lifted. 5 lessons from Bella. Write these down. 1. You cannot change what you cannot see. Track your spending for 30 days. Not to judge yourself, just to see. Awareness is the most powerful financial tool you have. 2. Check your subscriptions today, before this video ends. Most people find between $50 and $200 they had no idea they were spending. 45 minutes. Immediate permanent saving. 3. Meal planning is one of the highest return habits available to anyone. 1 hour Sunday. Saves money, stress, and decision fatigue all week. 4. You don't need willpower, you need information. Consciousness replaces autopilot, and conscious spending is almost always lower than unconscious spending. 5. Pay yourself first. Give your savings a name and automate the transfer on payday. Money with a destination stays, money without one disappears. Bella didn't change her income, didn't change her job, didn't sacrifice anything she actually cared about. She just started paying attention, in a way she never had before. And paying attention, really paying attention, turned out to be worth $400 a month. What would $400 a month change in your life? Next episode, Carlos, 35 years old, 6 years at the same company, got a phone call on a Tuesday morning, laid off. $340 in his account, 2 months of rent due. What he did in the first 48 hours is something everyone should know. Subscribe so you don't miss it. If Bella's story helped you, Share it with one person who needs it. You already know who that person is. See you in the next episode of Rich Minded.